magic I really enjoy. It's called the open prediction. And the open prediction basically is that there is a prediction, but we see it from the beginning, and you know from the beginning what it is. So here I have a blue deck of cards. So what can I like? Oh, 8 of clubs. Here I have a red deck, and I want you to do something very simple for me if you don't mind. And once again, whenever you like, it's really up to you. You can stop somewhere. You don't have to wait for me when I stop talking. Oh, right here already. Yeah, put it down, face down. Absolutely.
Face up.
Absolutely, yes. Keep dealing face up until the end, because you know I made an open prediction, the 8 of clubs. But so far so good. We haven't seen, I think, any 8 of clubs. 9 of clubs, 7 of clubs. Oh my God. Whew. All right. Well, pretty good so far, I think. I don't know, but I don't think we saw any 8 of clubs. Wait, we're just gonna check for just a second, just to make sure, very slowly, because I really want to make sure that you see here you have the 7 of clubs, 9 of clubs, 8 of spades. We got what do we have here? Another 8 of hearts. All right, that was your card, and we have another 8 of diamonds here. And yeah, I mean we didn't see any 8 of clubs, which means that there is only one option. The only card that you left face down is the 8 of clubs. Is that amazing? Ta-da! Maybe I didn't put any 8 of clubs in the red deck, and you just left any card face down. But that would not be fair. That would not be honest. Absolutely. And I can tell you that there is an 8 of clubs here. And because we didn't see it, it has to be the only one that you leave face down here. And it's obviously, yes, it is the 8 of clubs. Exactly. It's great because there is absolutely no sleight of hand. It's very easy to do. It's super clean. It looks like real magic. If you're working pro, you can reset it in a few seconds, and you can repeat it with a different prediction. So I think it makes a lot of interesting features in one same open prediction routine. I'm sure you will love performing this one, and you will fool a lot of people. It's going to be something that you will keep in your repertoire for a long time. Hi. Hey, your name is? Carrie. Nice to meet you, Carrie. I'm Boris. And you know, there's something in magic, and especially in card magic, that we call prediction. And you know, usually a prediction is something that you put aside and we only check it at the end, just to keep the suspense a little bit. But there is also something else also in magic that I really enjoy. It's called the open prediction. And the open prediction basically is that there is a prediction, but we see it from the beginning, and you know from the beginning what it is. Yeah. So here I have a blue deck of cards, and from this blue deck, I'm going to take one card as my prediction. And the great thing is, I said you'll be able to see what it is from the beginning, right? So let's take a few cards here. Just one card will be enough for today, I guess. I saw one card I like. Oh, 8 of clubs. That's a good card, and that will be my prediction. So you know something will happen with the 8 of clubs, but you don't know what yet. Because here I have a red deck, and from this red deck here, which all the cards are all same thing, different. Well, shuffle. I'm going to shuffle them a bit more just to make sure. Like this. Yep, yep. Better like this. Even more like this. Look. It's a little hot in here, so it's better you get like air conditioning. So in 1 second, I will give you this red deck, and I want you to do something very simple for me, if you don't mind. I want you to hold the card like this, and I want you to deal the card face up like this, one by one on the table, right? And whenever you want, I want you just to stop. Whenever you like, you just stop dealing the cards, and you take the next card and you deal it face down on top of the other ones. And then I will ask you to keep dealing the cards face up until the end of the deck, right? Okay. It's very simple. When you deal the cards and when you hold them, usually you hold them in your right hand or left hand? Left hand, very nice. So here's the deck, and I want you just to deal the cards face up one by one. And once again, whenever you like, it's really up to you. You can stop somewhere. You don't have to wait for me when I stop talking. Oh, right here already. Yeah, put it down, face down. Absolutely. And then face up. Absolutely, yes. Keep dealing face up until the end, because you know I made an open prediction, the 8 of clubs. And oh, that was an 8 of hearts. That's good. But so far, so good. We haven't seen, I think, any 8 of clubs. So that's another club. A couple more. And we have, no, okay. We got, what do we have here? An 8 of spades, you know. Yeah, it was very close. 9 of clubs, 7 of clubs. Oh, my God. Whew. All right. Well, that was pretty good so far, I think. I don't know, but I don't think we saw any 8 of clubs. Wait, we're just going to check for just a second, just to make sure, very slowly, because I really want to make sure that you see here you have the 7 of clubs, 9 of clubs, 8 of spades. We got, what do we have here? Another 8 of hearts. All right, that was your card. And we have another 8 of diamonds here. And yeah, I mean, it's good, because now we double check, we're sure that there is absolutely, we didn't see any 8 of clubs, which means that there is only one option. The only card that you left face down is the 8 of clubs. Is that amazing? Ta-da! Yeah, I know what you're thinking right now. Yeah, you want to see it, of course. And maybe I was Mr. Sneaky Magicians, and maybe I didn't put any 8 of clubs in the red deck, and you just left any card face down. Yeah, and maybe I tried to convince you that this card matches my prediction from the beginning. But that would not be fair. That would not be honest. Absolutely. And I can tell you that there is an 8 of clubs here. And because we didn't see it, it has to be the only one that you leave face down here. And it's obviously, yes, it is the 8 of clubs. Exactly. That's the one you picked. There you go. 8 of clubs. Open prediction is, with any card at any number, probably one of the most mythical effects in card magic. And after getting interested in Akan, it was logical for me to turn to open prediction. So the open prediction effect was first developed by Paul Curry and known as the Curry unsolved card problem. It was published in 1949 under the form of a letter between Gerald Koski and Bruce Elliott. And it's only in 1953 that Edward Marlowe published it under this name in the condition. Then in 1955, Stewart James published in Ibidem 18 quite strict conditions to perform open prediction, but there was no explanation, and unfortunately he passed away with his secret. In 2002, in the first issue of Penumbra, they found a document attributed to Stewart James with what is supposed to be the explanation of 51 Faces North, but we're not really sure that it's really the case because some conditions don't really match the 18 conditions that Stewart James wanted for that particular effect. So since then, many versions have been published, many versions of open prediction, but I really checked as many as I could, and I just realized that lots of them are quite far from the original simple open prediction effect. So I really tried, and that was my idea, just to go back to the roots and try to find a way to perform open prediction the way it should be, the way it should look like if there was no trick. So that's why I called it POP, for perfect open prediction. I don't know if it's perfect from the magician's point of view, but because, sorry to say that, and I hope I won't disappoint you, there is a trick. But I'm quite sure that from the audience perspective, it really looks perfect, because if they later talk about the effect and if they describe it, they will probably describe it the way open prediction should look like if there was no trick. So I hope you will like it. It's really effective on the audience. It's something fun to do, and it's also easy to do. And we are going to see right now how you can perform POP. Let's see what you need to perform perfect open prediction. First of all, when you open the DVD case, you may have realized that you got a few things. You got 2 double facers. You only need 1 for the experience, yeah? But we just supply 2 so you can perform the effect up to 4 times with 4 different predictions. So this is what you get, and you also get these little sticky squares. It's, I would say, double-sided, invisible double-sided sticky tape, and you will only need just a little piece of these, and you will perform a lot of time the tricks if you want with just a small piece. We're going to see that in a second. You will also need for that a pair of scissors just to cut the sticky tape, and you will need a regular deck of cards. So here I will recommend, of course, just to use a card that is produced by US Playing Cards. It can be a bicycle deck, but you can also use like Phoenix if you want. You can use Mandolin, you can use Maiden, you can even use Talio, as far as you have faces that match the double facers that you got with the DVD. For the prediction, if you want to take the prediction from an extra deck, then you will need a second deck which has backs that are very different from the deck that you use in the experience. So when you get all this, you're ready for the setup, the preparation, and that's what we're going to see right now. So here's the preparation for POP now. Just choose one of the 2 double facers that you got. I'm going to use this one here. For instance, that would be 8 of clubs and 3 of diamonds. So what you need to do, take your the deck that you will use in the experience and get rid of these 2 cards. The 2 regular cards that match the double facer. Just get rid of these 2 cards. We don't need them, and they will be replaced in a way by this double facer here. So that's the first thing to do with the deck. Second thing to do is just to find in the deck a picture card that has a straight belt. This is a good example. The Queen of Clubs, as you can see here, has a little belt here with a little star, and this is straight. And this is a good one compared to the Jack of Clubs, for instance. Here, the belt is like curved, so it's not a good one, but this one is a good one. So this is the one you can use here. And what you need to do with the sticky tape, you just get a little piece, and I did it earlier just to save some time, just to cut a little piece like this, and it has to be pretty much the size of the belt, just to cover, you see the belt right here in the center of the Queen of Clubs. So you just take this little piece here and just unstick it like this, very clearly like that. There you go. Yep. And you're going to place this little piece right in the center here, like that. Yep. Just press a bit like this. You can even do it with the scissors just to make sure it just really sticks to the center. There you go. And then you unstick this like that, and you get now a Queen of Clubs that has just here the center, this little belt here, and it's sticky. Yeah, but it really is the exact shape of the belt, so it's very difficult to see anything. It's right in the center. It will be quite sticky at the beginning, so you can press a bit like this with your thumb to make it less sticky, because you don't need like to be really sticky. It's just enough so another card can go over it later and stick to it. But that'll be it, pretty much. Once you're here, preparation is really easy. If you want to stack the deck, you just put the Queen of Clubs here at the bottom of your deck. Okay, so that would be the bottom card. And you take the double facer that you chose, and you place it second from the top like this. Yeah. Here, if you see the 8 of clubs, it means that your prediction would be the 8 of clubs. If you just turn it the other way, and if you see the 3 of diamonds, it means that your prediction should be the 3 of diamonds. But let's stick to the 8 of clubs like in the demonstration before. Yeah. So once you're here, your deck is ready. And if you want, for the prediction, you can either take, if you don't want to use another deck, you can just take a napkin and write, 8 of clubs on the napkin, or a business card, a piece of paper if you want. Or you can just have, the 8 of clubs that you took from the red deck, and you can just have the cards here in your pocket. And you can say, well, I had a flash this morning, and this is a prediction, and it's an open prediction because you see it from the beginning. That's the 8 of clubs. You can have that if you don't want to carry the second deck, for instance. But what I think it's better if you have a second deck here with different backs, because it looks like you have the choice. It looks like, I'm going to make a prediction, and it doesn't look like it's like a fixed choice or something that is forced. You can look through the cards, and you're like, well, I'll go with, 8 of clubs, for instance. That'd be a good one card. I think that'd be a good card today. Let's do that. So if you want, and I think I would prefer this solution, it requires a second deck. Otherwise, there are many ways to predict the card. As far as people know it's the 8 of clubs in advance, you're good. So we're going to stick to that option here for the explanation and for the demonstration, and that's what we're going to do right now. The first thing to do when you perform pop is to explain what is a prediction and what is an open prediction compared to a standard prediction. So for this, you say that you are going to make a prediction, but people will be able to see what the prediction is from the beginning. When you explain that, just take the blue deck if you use the second deck and say, well, I'm going to take a card, that will be my prediction for today, and you'll be able to see that from the beginning. How? 8 of clubs, for instance. That's a good card. And you just place it here. Just get rid of the blue deck, you don't need any more. That's your prediction, everybody knows about this, and then you can take the red deck. When you take the red deck, of course, be careful, because the second card is face up, even double facer, but you can see the face of that. So make sure that you don't flash this card here. And you hold the card in your hand, you don't have to worry about that, because this is a natural way. The dealing position is the natural way to hold the card, so it will not stick that. It will not stick to your skin, and we'll see about that later with the cards in the spectator's hand also. So just take the card, show the backs. Once again, careful when you just do that, not to flash, so just push a block of card here on top, so you don't flash the 8 of clubs. Just put the card back here, show the faces, they're all different. Take the card, you can do a shuffle like this if you want. Make sure that when you do it, the Queen of clubs remain the top card, and you just also keep the 2 cards here underneath at the same position. You can do something like that, and now you are going to explain how the effects, what's going on now and what you expect from the person next to you. And this is a very important phase here, because once again, we perform for lay people, we don't perform for magicians. So if you go to a lay person and you say, okay, now I'm going to give the card, you're going to deal the card, are face down, but you're going to deal them face up, one by one, on the table, then you can stop whenever you like. You deal the next card face down, they will be completely lost. And I always like to illustrate my words by showing them, what I expect from them. And they feel more comfortable when they see you explaining, and when you show them what you want them to do. It's always better. They feel better, and you are sure that they will not make any mistake. And here, I think it's a good example, because I will illustrate my words, I will show what I expect from her, and at the same time, it will serve the method. It will be helpful for the method. Yeah? So what I do here, I explain, I talk about the prediction, I talk about what I will ask her to do, and when I'm here, I just show very casually. People see that the red back is on top of the deck here. So I talk a little bit. So this image is in their mind right now. And now I explain and I say, well, you're going to deal the card face up one by one. Of course, I cannot do that because everybody will see this. So after I just talk and I show very casually the back here, I will just tilt my hand and my wrist a little bit towards me. So I can deal the first card here, and nobody will see the 8 of clubs in my hand. So they see the top card, they see the first back, I go here, I deal the first one, I take the second one and I deal it here, then I move my wrist down a little bit, then I can show, and once again I don't show anything, I just expose the back, and at the same time I immediately take the next card that I place on the table here, and then I deal another card like this here. So I would deal maybe like 4 or 5 cards, and that's enough, you don't need to do that. It's just to illustrate your words, okay? It doesn't look like anything related to the method. It's just like, I want you to deal some cards like this on the table whenever you like, you stop, right? It's very simple. But when you do so, you do like a retention of vision. You see the back, you don't see the back, see the backs, and you just do a little move like this with your wrists. It really looks like that you just show what you want her to do and nothing else, of course. I just need say 4 or 5 cards maximum, not too much, of course. And then I will give her the cards, make sure that once she understood everything, I can give her the card and she can do, of course, the dealing sequence. Now this is an important moment. I don't want, to give her the card this way, because she may take the card like this. and she may like realize that there's something sticky here. So to avoid this, the best way is always to ask, well, when you deal cards, do you hold the deck in your right hand or left hand? And like 99% of the time, you will realize that, and it happened again today. The person will do like, oh, I hold in my left hand, and they will do the move at the same time. And as I said earlier, when you hold the card like this, there is a gap here. So that's the perfect moment. I ask her, she does the little move, or even if she doesn't do it, I will just place the card myself in her hand, so I am sure that that the deck will be like this, and there is absolutely no way the sticky part here can stick to her hand, to her skin. And now that's what she do. I mean, she just does the dealing sequence. She deals face up the card one by one, and whenever she wants, she stops. Let's say here, yeah. Next one face down, and that is, I think, one of the best part here is most of the time, if you look at open prediction effects, at this particular moment, once the card is dealt face down, the magician needs to do something. Either you just get the card back, or you just turn them over, or you show them and you reverse them. But here, that's what I like in this routine here. You don't touch anything. She deals the card face down, and you say, well, keep dealing face up now the rest of the deck. I mean, that's what the open prediction effect should look like. And she keeps dealing face up like this until the end. And now you may think that, well, it's a dealing sequence, it's the full deck, it might be long or boring, but I try to create, tension, suspense, and drama here. And I just look at the cards and I'm like, well, we haven't seen any, 8 of clubs so far, but 8 of hearts now, that's very close. Let's keep dealing. 8 of spades, you scared me. And you just, make comments about the cards you see and the cards she deals, etc., until the end. 9 of clubs, very close again. So that's interesting because I don't say from the beginning that, hey, the card you will leave face down will match my prediction. People will understand it. It's okay. They know that. They will know that very quickly. But I don't say it on purpose. So when I just see all the cards after and I just make comments, they're like, well, come on, seriously. That means that if we don't see it, the 8 of clubs will be the only one face down? Nah, no way. And I just prefer them to make this thing in their mind by themselves, which is, I think, better. And at the end, when there are a few cards left, what I usually do, I say, okay, and then 7 of clubs, once again, something close. And I just try to make, to keep the pace a bit slower, so she can deal one, and the last one now is so she doesn't do it very quickly until the end, and which is good also because when you have a few cards left here and the last card being a bit sticky in the center, it's great if she take it very slowly and place it like this. Okay, once again, nobody really take card like this and do like this, and so don't be afraid of having people touching the center here because you deal card like this or like this, but not this way, and especially at the end if you make sure that she deals the card very slowly, like for the suspense, like, oh no, we didn't see the 8 of clubs. So that's the first phase. We haven't seen any 8 of clubs, but I need now to take the deck and spread the cards and show that, to double check that there is indeed no 8 of clubs. So to do this and to get a better motivation to do it, I just look around and I'm like, well, I don't think we saw any 8 of clubs, right? And nobody will never say, oh no, that's for sure, we didn't see it. That's for sure, absolutely. Nobody will never say that. They would be like, no, I don't think we saw any, yeah, right, no. So I'm like, well, you're not 100% sure. So I will gather the card very gently. That's what I do here. And we will double check just to make sure because this is too impossible if it's true. And then you spread the cards. And then once again, you say, well, we were very close here with the 7 and the 9. That's another 8 here. That's the 8 of hearts. And you do nothing. And that's the beauty of it. There's absolutely no sleight of hand, no manipulation, zero. You just go to the card that is reversed, drop the cards like this on the table. Remember, this is the sticky card. Take the card that the person reversed, place it on top of the sticky card, and then keep dealing. Keep spreading between your hands like this. And you see, 8 of diamonds, 6 of clubs, until the end. And see, yeah, no, we are sure. We didn't see any 8 of clubs. Wow. And there's one card reversed. So, which means that, yeah, it's automatic. This card reversed has to be the 8 of clubs. Ta-da! And of course, people will say, yeah, I want to see that, I want to check. Or someone will maybe come up with, yeah, maybe there is no 8 of clubs in your deck and she left any card face down and you pretend it's the 8 of clubs. And if someone doesn't say that, you can even say it, like I did earlier. So at this particular moment, it creates interest and tension again, because people say, yeah, we believe you, but still, we want the proof. So here is the proof. I just get all the cards, back together, I square them in my hand, and very gently, without any funny moves, I'm like, well, I can guarantee that there is an 8 of clubs in that deck here. And this is the move. And this is, once again, something logic. You just take the card and you say, yes, there is an 8 of clubs here. But when I do that move here, of course, I press a little bit in the center, just to make sure that the card will go over my queen of clubs. So I just do this little move. I'm like, yes, you can trust me. There is an 8 of clubs in that deck here. And because we didn't see it, and then when I say that, I simply turn over the cards like this, very gently again. With one finger, I spread at the same time. And I said, it has to be the one that you left the other way. And it is Yes, indeed, the 8 of clubs. And you just take the 8 of clubs out of the spread here. So what I recommend to do is always take it from, you know, this side here and towards you rather than this way, because it's still a double facer. So you don't want to, you know, throw the card to the people. They might catch it and want to see it. So first you just do this. You just take it like this, take the 8 of clubs. And it's great here because, once again, in some open prediction effects, the card that you produce and you reveal at the end is a double card. And with the heat, or if it's not perfectly, stick together, you might see something here on the edge. And all the heat is on that card. So it's great here because it's a single card, so you can really take it and very freely show it like a regular card. And also, here on both sides of the card, you don't have nothing, there's nothing funny here. It's, once again, single cards, because the double is 2 cards away. It's right here. So it looks really, really clean. You're here, and you just take the card out like this, show the card, and here, if you want, you can gather the card here up to the double, the improvised double back card, I would say, and do a little something like this when you just turn the card over. Make sure that you don't flash any backs when you do that, because there is a back here, of course. But if you just do it right, and if you just do a quick thing like this, then you get the 8 of clubs here at the end, and of course, it matches your prediction, just perfect open prediction here, and that's the basic routine. Here are a couple of extra ideas at the end when you are in this situation here. First, it's very easy. When you finish the effect, you got the double facer here. You can place it back in the red deck, and you just get rid of the red deck, take the blue deck, that is just normal, take the 8 of clubs with the blue deck, stick it inside, and just keep performing with the blue deck. So there's absolutely nothing to be seen here. It's just a regular deck of 52 cards. This is something you can do. If you don't use an extra deck, if you don't use the blue deck here, and if you just use one like red deck here in the performance, what I recommend to do is at the beginning have a prediction, an open prediction that is a single card. Yeah. So you start and you say, okay, this is my prediction. It's the 8 of clubs. You don't show the back because this is not really important. The important is the identity of the card. This is the 8 of clubs. Place it here, but of course this back matches, the back of your deck. And yeah, to be honest, this is the 8 of clubs that I took away from the deck at the beginning. But nobody knows that. So you just take your prediction, 8 of clubs. Don't show the back. It's not really important. When you finish at the end, you just have the card here, produce the card, that's the 8 of clubs, wonderful, you're done. And here, this is a little something that you can do. I performed it earlier in the demonstration a bit differently with the other deck, with the blue deck. I'm going to go back to that in a second. But if you use one deck only, you can still do the cleanup at the end. You got this double facer here, you got your prediction card here, and the effect is over. You got a perfect match, open prediction, everything's fine. And just at the end, your prediction card here is on your right, and very casually, effect is over. You don't do a big deal of it. You don't do even, it's not a move for the audience. It's just like I gather my cards and I clean up the things. I take the 8 of clubs here, and I will do a quick Mexican turnover, and I will just slide it underneath and do a little something like this. And here, it really looks like that I just turned the 8 of clubs from the deck over on top of the cards, and it's the one that was reversed in the deck. But obviously, that's the one here. And this is the double facer. So once again, you can just take it, and it's finished. Nobody is really looking at you at this moment. But if someone does, you just take it like this, and just do this, and very, casually while talking or like cleaning your stuff, you just do this little move. And this card is supposed to be the card that you took from your jacket pocket or your pocket, and you just place it back here. Okay, if you want to be really sneaky, you can have another 8 of clubs in your pocket, a regular one, and someone say, oh, can I see that card? Yeah, sure, and you take it out. I think it's useless, but if you really want to do it, you can still do it. But this is a great way just to finish, I would say, really nice. Almost clean, because you've got, of course, your improvised double face card here. But if you really want to be absolutely clean, I can show you a way to do that. Remember, this is here in the center. What I do here in such a case, I keep my cards face up. I will just refill the card at the back like this until I can feel or hear a little click. Yeah. When I get this, I just separate the 2 cards that were stick together, and I will just do like a double or triple cut, bringing my queen of clubs back to the top here, which means that I have the card here. It's just basically a cut. You can do a cut if you want, but double, triple cut is like you're toying with the deck, playing with the deck, and you unstick the cards, and you've got 1 card reversed at the bottom. Here, if you want, and if you can do it, you can either do a half pass and just put it back the same way as the other one, or if you want, you can do just a simple move. You buckle here the bottom card, you get the card here in your right hand, middle position, with the break at the right thumb, and you can just do a swing cut like this in your hand, flip the packet over in your left hand, and by doing so, you will just do this little move here. All the cards held in your right hand will cover the cards held in your left hand, and because they're like almost perfectly squared, aligned, I would say, you would just drop the bottom card on top, and you will simply take the cards here and flip them over like this. Yeah. So once again, bottom card is reversed. If you really want to be clean, you just buckle, transfer the break at the right thumb, swing cut, flip like this, and when you do the flip, you just go over completely, drop the card here, and then do this. And now you got the queen of clubs with the little sticky part in the center, and now it's very easy with your nail just to scratch this part here in the center and do this, and you get this little something here under your nail. You can leave the card on the table, get rid of little sticky piece here anytime, and you have a deck that is absolutely normal. All the cards can be examined, there's nothing to be seen, and it's the way you can clean up at the end. And now I would like to show you the variation that I used earlier in the demonstration with the extra deck. And it's a combination of the prediction and the Mexican turnover and the use of the blue deck. So here, what I do, I extract the prediction from the blue deck at the beginning. This is what I did earlier, and I place it right here. I introduce the deck. It's blue, so you know, of course, it's blue cards, but this one is not blue, yeah? So the prediction, and it's the only card that is not blue. So my prediction here is the 8 of clubs, and it's a red back card. It's the red back card that comes from the other deck. But I just show here the blue deck, and I'm like, well, let's take a prediction for tonight. 8 of clubs, that'll be fine. And everybody assumed that it is a blue back card, but in fact, it is a red back card. Get rid of that. You do the full presentation and the full thing, open prediction. You finish at the end, one finger. You just show, spreading the cards, bang, 8 of clubs, perfect match. That's my prediction, da-da-da. And then you get the cards back all together here. And like I did earlier, it's not a move, it's just a little cleanup at the end. Everybody, think it's finished, and you just talk to the guys, say, yeah, what do you think of that? Yeah. Take the prediction card here. Everybody thinks it's a blue back card, and very casually you do the same move as earlier, and you do this. And then, once again, people will assume that you just turn the card over, and we see now the back, it's a red back. This one is supposed to be the one with the blue back, and of course it's not. And then you can get the blue back deck from your pocket and just, slide it back inside here. And when you slide it back somewhere here, of course, you get another, and the regular 8 of clubs is inside with the blue back. Once again, in case someone wants to see it, but it will never happen, believe me. But just in case, it's there. And then you can get rid of that one here, and you can do the cleanup I explained earlier with the red deck, and then you have, at the end, a regular deck, and you can keep performing with it extra routines after. 2 little extra tips that I can give you also about open prediction. First is that here I perform with the table, but the interesting feature about that routine is that you don't need a table. You can perform exactly the same thing if you perform in like cocktail conditions, you do strolling magic, it will work the same. Just ask someone, on your right, just to hold his hand or her hand like this, yeah? And you will use the hand, as a support. You don't have the table, but you have the hands of the people. And you will do the exact same thing. You can have your prediction, you can put it here in your jacket pocket if you want, and then you can start dealing the cards in the spectator's hand. It will be the exact same thing. You just do it in his hand or in her hand, and you just give the deck to someone else, and you say, please, keep dealing the card in the hands, and whenever you like, one face down, the rest on top, face up. Then when she's done, take the card back, just show, oh, there's nothing here, put back in their hand, show the face down card on top, keep going, show there is no 8 of clubs, put back on top here, and at the end, grab all the cards back, turn them over, and spread them between your hands, and just reveal the 8 of clubs. That is, of course, matching your prediction. So you don't need a table. So that's another interesting point. I think it's a good point. One last little tip, it's about the deck itself that you use. Sometimes it may happen that if you have like an 8 of clubs as a prediction card, it might happen sometimes that the card that the person leaves face down is another 8. Yeah? And when you just double check and you say, oh, see, you see the 8 of hearts and we see the 8 of spades, and there's no 8 of diamonds. You never see it. And somebody may realize that. Somebody may realize, oh, there's no 8 of diamonds, because that's the one that was reversed, the real one. So if that happens, I mean, it may happen. What I recommend to do, and this is something I do also, you get 2 options. I would say the first one, which is I don't think is the best, but you need to pay attention. So when she deals the card, you just try to see that you see, the 3 other 8s, and they show up. And you see the 8 of hearts, and you see the 8 of diamonds, you see the 8 of spades, fine. But if you just do that and you realize that you only see 2 8s, you know that she turns 1 8 over. And in that case, at the end, you will just draw the attention to the deck, but not only to the 8s, but to the similar cards like the 7 of clubs or the 9 of clubs, but not only the 8s. And maybe it's better in that case not to draw attention too much on those cards. Somebody may realize that 1 8 is missing. The best option for me is to use a marked deck. And you know me, all my decks are marked. I have marked decks all over the place, even for pop. You don't need a marked deck. But if you have a marked deck, you don't even need to pay attention because you can focus on the presentation. She deals the card, she leaves one card face down. When she leaves the card face down, you look. You see, it's an 8, that's not an 8. If it's an 8, you know what to do later. If it's not an 8, perfect. She keeps dealing and you do the regular thing. So Once again, this is, I would say, a routine in which the mark deck is not necessary, but it can be really helpful just for a little subtlety and a little extra tip when you do perfect open prediction. And now, as a bonus, I would like to teach you a version of pop that does not require this. No double facer. Can you believe that? Yes. So the advantage of the original routine is that anybody can do it, okay? There is absolutely no sleight of hand, nothing difficult to do. Here, it's not difficult, but it requires a little sleight of hand because you don't have a double facer. So I'm going to show you now how it works, and sure you will have fun also with this one. So you got, like in the original routine, the queen of clubs at the bottom of the deck and with a sticky center here on the belt, yeah? And you also need a card that would be your prediction. So here in my case, let's say that I will take the 8 of clubs, you know, as the card, and that will be my prediction. So if the 8 of clubs is my open prediction, then I will take the 8 of clubs from the red deck, and here the interesting part is that you don't need to get rid of cards before your performance. You just take your 52 cards here, you put some sticky tape on the queen of clubs at the bottom, and you take any card and you place it face up, second from the top. That would be the 8 of clubs here again, so my prediction would be an 8 of clubs. Yeah? So the only difference here is that you need to remember which one is under the 8 of clubs. So here, the third card in the deck is the king of spades. You just need to keep that in mind, right? So the beginning of the performance, you need to keep a little break, you know, just below the third card. Yeah? So just below the third card, just below the king of spades, you get a little break here. So once you're here, you get this little break, then the beginning is exactly the same, and the interesting part is that the routine looks exactly the same. You talk to the person, and you explain the open prediction, etc., and then you illustrate your words and say, this is what I want you to do. So here again, you will do the retention. You will just tilt your wrist a bit like this, take the top card, and you will just deal it this way here on the table. And here, once again, the 8 of clubs is visible only for you. What you will do here, you will do a little push off. So with your left thumb here, you will push 2 cards as one, like this. So that's why you need to do a little break before, so it will be helpful. So you just push the 2 cards as one like this, and with your right hand, you will take these 2 cards as one. And what I recommend to do is just put, you know, your pinky here on this corner of the card. If you just do that, and if you just put all your fingers here on the edge of the card, and if you just turn like this, so you will be this way here. So people see a face, which is normal here. You just take the card like this, and you just deal these 2 cards as one on top of the first one here. Be careful when you deal it, okay, not to expose the back here. So that's the only tricky part I would say here. So you're in this situation, and you just take the top card, place it here. Don't show that one here, but you know it's the 8 of clubs. Just push the 2 cards as one, do this little move here, put it here on the table, and keep doing exactly the same way on top, like this. And just be gentle when you do that, so you don't want to have something like this that exposes the back here. But if you just do it very gently, and if you just put the card on top of each other, it's going to be fine. So you just do a few cards like this, pretty much the same way, so it doesn't look suspicious in any way when you just put the second card on the table. And you just say, you get the idea. And do you hold left hand? Okay, very good. Just do the same thing. And she will keep dealing cards on top like this, and she will stop, and 1 card face down, and the rest will be face up on top until the last one, like this. Yeah? Square everything like that, and once again, we'll double check. So you spread, and it's just like before. You just say, oh, 8 of diamonds, very close, 6 of clubs, oh, 7, and 9 of clubs, ha, ha, ha. Then you come here. This is your card over the sticky queen of clubs, and then you keep dealing. And when you deal the card, we spread the cards like this in your hand. Just do it by like 2 or 3 cards at the same time, and when you approach the end, you just now do it one by one. It's just for the suspense or the tension. It's like, no, 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 no. And when you see the king of spades, be careful. Don't do that. Don't expose the back here. So just be very casual here, and then now one by one, just say no, 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 no. When you see the king of spades here, your card, you know that here again you need to do a push off. So you will just push the 2 cards as one, like this, in your hand. Yeah. So it's not very difficult here because you have only 3 cards left. So you just pretty much, you know, keep the bottom card in hand and push the 2 top cards as one, like this, with your left thumb. Yeah. So you here, you push 2 as one like this. You go here, here, nothing, no 8 of clubs, and you just drop everything on top here, just like in the original routine. So as you can see, there's not so much sleight of hand involved here. But the beauty now is that you can take, you know, the deck back here in your hand, just say, we didn't see any 8 of clubs, but there is one 8 of clubs in that deck, I promise. And let's check. And you do the exact same thing as earlier. You simply spread like this, and you show the 8 of clubs. It's reversed, that's your card. And now you can either take it this way, or you can even take it this way here and show that this is it, 8 of clubs. And you can casually, you know, flash the back, and of course show that there's nothing to be seen. Of course, you still have here your double improvised double back card. Here you can do something like this and do the cleanup as explained earlier. And in that case, you will have 52 cards in your hand that are completely normal at the end. and you can just give them to the people, or you can keep performing some more routines after, and it's, I think, even more perfect. Thank you for purchasing this DVD. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, I'm pretty sure you enjoyed it, because you could see Pop looks really, really clean for an open prediction effect. You know, once again, if you think about that from the audience perspective, on Monday morning at the coffee machine, they will talk about the performance they saw during the weekend, and that will be you doing that particular effect, and they will say, wow, that guy placed one card aside, and I did all the cards face up, but one face down, and when we checked, that was the only one. And believe me, it was as clean as that. And this is what perfect open prediction is about. You know, having, like, you know, the most impossible open prediction effect. And as you could see, you can perform it like a couple of times in a row, and this is also something that you can perform very easily without any technique. Or if you prefer, and if you want to even fool the ones who just know the original version, you can use the version without the gaffed cards, and just with a little sleight of hand, it works also very well. So once again, please perform it, because you will not regret it. It's a really, really super clean card effect that people will love it. I've performed it for like quite a while now, and I can confirm that. So give it a try. Do it, you know, whenever it's ready and whenever you master it perfectly, and you will see the result, and it's going to be something that you will keep in your repertoire for a long time. So that's Pop, and I hope to see you again.